Hi, y'all. This is Johnny, and I wanted to share with you something today that's one of the most mind blowing experiences I've had in my career is when I discovered this picture. I'll show it to you in just a second up close. I want to make sure I've got all my information out here. I call this picture Chakra Man, and I'll give you a close up when I can. Um, But you see this picture shows a guy standing there. A guy standing there with, if you can see closely, the planet symbols are inside of his chakras. I don't know if that's very clear, but you can see copies of this picture on my Facebook page or my website. But I want to tell you what's really cool about this guy. First off, when I first discovered this picture, it was on the cover of a book by an Indian author, and I just assumed this picture came from India, but I actually discovered this picture comes from Europe from almost 400 years ago. So somehow some Europeans knew about chakras 400 years ago. Kind of crazy, huh? You can see the writing here is in French. That's French, not Sanskrit. So yeah, chakras are universal. Chakras are indeed universal. So what's really cool here, and if you look really close here, you can see there's the moon. That's the symbol for the moon. That's the symbol for Mercury. That's the symbol for Venus, the sun. And for some reason, there's a snake wrapped around the sun and a dog over here. Not sure what that's all about. We got Mars up here. We got Jupiter up here. And we got Saturn up at the crown chakra. And obviously, Mars at the throat chakra makes no sense whatsoever, right? We think of Mars as the god of war. We think of the throat as communication, and it's like, well, what's going on with that? And here's what's going on. This is actually the order of the planets, or the planets are in order of fastest to slowest, right? The moon goes around the zodiac one time every month. Mercury goes around one time less than a year. Venus once less than a year. The sun goes around once every year, right? That's our year. Mars every 2 years, Jupiter every 12 years, Saturn every 29 years. So what's even more cool about this is, well, why would they put them in this order, you know? Oh yeah, well that's why they put them in this order. But what's cool is what happens when you spread these out on a 7-pointed star. You get the days of the week, and here's what I'm talking about. If you see the little thing I posted up here, I got the days of the week with their Spanish names, because the gods and goddesses in Roman mythology are who the days of the week are named after in Spanish and French and Italian and so on. But in English, they're the German gods, so we don't understand. We don't make the connection so easily. But if you look here, like Tuesday is martes in French, or in Spanish, mardi. In French, that's obviously Mars. Wednesday is miércoles in Spanish. Woden in German, but again, Mercury's day, right? So anyway, we got our days of the week right there. The days of the week and the gods and the planets are all named after each other, right? So what I did was I took this, I took a 7-pointed star, and I started, and I laid out all these planets or chakras in order. See the moon at the bottom, and then Mercury next, and Venus. Well, there's the moon, and there's Mercury, and there's Venus, and the sun, and then back all the way around the bend, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It's just like it does in there. But what's cool, and this is the cool part, what happens when you trace out a 7-pointed star? Check it out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The days of the week in our world are patterned after this transposed onto that. The days of the week are the planets in order, fastest to slowest, spread out on a 7-pointed star. How about that? So that's a little bit about what I do. I've got a couple chakra classes coming up this week and next week. We're not going to talk about any of this kind of stuff, but what I'm showing you is that the way my mind works is I look at stuff like this and I figure stuff out, like the days of the week. And I'm applying that same sensibility to when I'm looking at our chakras. And I'm talking to you about why the throat chakra is so much more than just speech. Oh my God, so much more. And the heart chakra, what we think about love, but what is love? It's so confusing in the English language. We have this one word that can mean so many things. So I dive into all this stuff. So the classes, like I said, coming up, there's one on Thursday. There's a couple next week, later in the day. If you're on the West Coast, you might prefer that. But just click onto the events on my Facebook page, and it'll list all of them. You pick whichever one you'd like to attend. I'm taking donations for this, so you have to give something. There's no minimum, but when you pay through PayPal, you'll get a link from me to a Zoom meeting. So we'll do this all on Zoom. So yeah, there you go. I hope to see you in my room soon. Ciao.